We're going to talk about a subject that you may not have ever heard of. It's a subject called an eggshell audit. What is an eggshell audit? That is when you get up one morning and go to your mailbox and you find a notice from the Internal Revenue Service that your tax return has been selected for examination. It's called an eggshell audit because when you review that tax return or reflect back on that tax return, you realize that there's some real problems in there. There's some overstatement of expenses, some understatement of income, and now you are concerned as how this audit is going to be handled. So the first thing you tend to do is pick up the phone and call your return preparer to discuss this with that preparer. That's probably the first mistake that you make, because if the preparer knew about these items, they would not have prepared the tax return if they were ethical preparers. So they are going to immediately tell you that this is your problem and that you probably need to hire an attorney. And that's not necessarily true. What needs to happen is that you need to hire a professional return preparer or an accountant who is familiar with IRS more than a return preparer. Someone who does a lot of IRS representation work, such as our firm, W.H. Simon & Company. That's exclusively what we do, is represent people before the Internal Revenue Service. It's important to do it in this manner because you want to protect the preparer as a potential witness for you if you need to use he or she as a defense in this process. The other thing you want to be aware of is that if there are significant criminal exposure to what you have done, then you want to make sure that you have competent representation. And at that point, after, for example, we evaluate it, we may decide that we need to bring in an attorney to help us with the representation. That's a decision that can be made later. But do not, and emphasize, do not immediately go back to the preparer and say, you know, reviewing my records, I found that I didn't give you all the income, or I didn't have all of those charitable contributions that I claimed, or I have substantially overstated my business expenses. That's not a conversation you want to have with your preparer. The first person IRS will want to talk to, other than you, is the return preparer. So if they have that information provided them subsequent to preparation of the tax return, they're obligated to disclose that to IRS. So please take our advice. Don't run to the preparer with that situation. We at W.H. Simon & Company would be more than happy to provide you with a free consultation if you're interested. The information can be seen below. Thank you very much.